Croeso pawb to the May Savings PSN sale. It's been a while since the spring sale came along, and there's some good news as well. There's a load of really good games in this sale, and you can save a load of money on them as well, which is really good. So don't forget to subscribe if you like saving money. I'm playing some really cool games as well. You're welcome here anytime. Okay, this sale ends on the 10th of May, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up is Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion. It was released in 2018, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £5.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this RPG, the land of Oo is underwater, and it's up to Finn and Jake to find out why. It features an original story with the English voice cast from the series, and it may be simpler compared to some RPGs, but hey, if you're looking at this game, you're looking at it because you like the series, and you're a fan of the show, in which case you'll probably have a really good time. Or maybe you're looking at picking it up for a kid. Who knows? Either way, it looks like a pretty decent but simple RPG. So if you're a fan of the show, why not take a look at it? I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. And if you've never played an RPG before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get much better AAA ones for about the same price or cheaper sometimes. And like I said, this one's a bit simple, as it's made for a younger audience, so it may not be the best place to start. We have A Keeper's Beat next. It was released in 2017, so it's 6 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the low price of £2.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this action JRPG, set in the heart of Akihabara, Tokyo, the delusions of otaku are coming to life and threatening the very fabric of reality, and only you can take to the streets and battle the creations of imagination to rescue Akihabara and its people from certain doom. This is from a really popular series of JRPGs. They're a bit quirky, but they're also very popular, which is pretty normal for Japanese RPGs to be honest. A lot of them are a bit quirky, and it adds to the charm. So if you're a fan of the series and you never picked this one up, or you just like JRPGs in general, definitely take a look at this game. It's at a really good price, and you'll probably have a lot of fun with it. And hey, if you've never played a JRPG before, then I wouldn't recommend starting with this one. It is a good deal, but it's a bit off the wall and different. I'd recommend starting with something a bit more mainstream, especially as you can get some legendary AAA series of JRPGs for some really good prices in some sales. I would definitely recommend starting with one of them instead. So if you'd like to pick up one of them instead, then why not subscribe and I'll help you find them when they're on sale next. We have an RTS next, Ancestor's Legacy. It was released in 2019, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £2.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a crazy good deal. This is an RTS game where you take command of different armies, as you get to storm through medieval Europe causing havoc and chaos everywhere. It features extensive campaigns, 4 playable nations, base management, resource management, and a cinematic battle camera as well, so you even get to look cool while you're doing your murdering and slaying. I'd never heard of this game before, and I really like RTSs, and there's not many on PlayStation at all, so this is great to see. This looks like a really good game, so if you're an RTS fan, you should definitely check it out. And if you've never played an RTS before, then you might want to take a look at it, although your options are very limited, so you might just want to pick it up anyway. Either way, it looks great. Take a look at it if you're interested. We have a management sim next, Big Pharma. It was released in 2019, so it's 4 years old, and is on at least a 79% discount for the price of £6.29 or £3.59 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal, especially for PS Plus users. You get a really good price. In this game, you get to run your own pharmaceutical company, researching and designing drugs, and balancing the books with your conscience. You get to design and build the production lines in order to manufacture them within your facility's capabilities, and also profit, because you're either trying to make money or you're trying to save the world. It's up to you really. Either way, I love management games like this, especially ones where you get to construct the production lines. I think they're really fun, and I've played a couple in the past and I really like them. If you're a fan of puzzle games, I'd definitely take a look at something like this. It's very different, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And hey, if you've never played a game like this before, then this looks like a good place to start. I think it might even be the only one on PS4 and PS5, so if that's the case, you don't really have many options, do you? Either way, it looks kinda cool, and if you like the sound of it, why not take a look? You might really enjoy yourself. We have a fighting game next, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasm Extend. It was released in 2015, so it's 8 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the low price of £2.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal. This game features an expanded story mode, with 6 scenarios and the events from the remix art. the playable characters Celica Mercury, and the reintroduction of Lambda, and a personal hangout for 64-player online multiplayer, although I don't know how active that is these days. But this game is from a legendary series, so if you're a fan of fighting games and you've never played BlazBlue, why not take a look at this one? They're really well known for very good reasons. They're an awesome series, and fans of fighting games love them. So if you're a fan of 2D anime-style fighting games, and for some reason you've never played a BlazBlue game, then what have you been doing with your life? Take a look at this. You'll probably thank me afterwards. And hey, if you've never played a fighter before, then this might be a good place to start. There's a ton of fighting games around, and a lot of the AAA ones you can get for a really good price on discount. So you're kind of spoilt for choice really. But hey, this is one of the better franchises, and it's at a pretty decent price. So if you're interested, definitely consider it. You can't go far wrong. Cars 3 Driven to Win is our next game. It was released in 2017, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 87% discount for the price of £4.79, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. This racer is based on the Pixar movies, where you get to race over 20 customizable characters from the movies on over 20 different tracks. It features 6 game modes, battle race, and 4-player local co-op as well, so if you've got friends or kids to play with, you'll have great fun with this game. This game is pretty similar to Mario Kart. It's got combat-based weaponry and a cartoony franchise that is based on. So if you're a fan of combat-based racing, you might want to take a look at this game. And if you've never played a combat-based racer before, then at this price I'm not sure I'd recommend it. You can get other ones much cheaper than this, so you'll probably want to take a look around instead. Or subscribe and you won't miss them when they go on sale next. We have a kart racer next. Garfield Kart Furious Racing. It was released in 2019, so it's 4 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the low price of £2.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a ridiculously good deal. This kart racer features 8 characters from the show, 3 game modes, 16 circuits, 9 weapons, 4-player split screen, and 8-player online multiplayer. So it's got a load of features, and it's basically a Mario Kart rip-off, which isn't a bad thing because Mario Kart is awesome, and outside of Nintendo's consoles, you can't get it anywhere. So it's really good to see a decent game coming out with a good brand as well, that's available on other consoles. So if you're a fan of Mario Kart, or just kart racers in general, you should take a look at this game, especially if you like playing local co-op with your friends. You'll really get a lot of fun out of this game. And hey, if you've never played a kart racer before, then this is one of the best ones you can get on PlayStation, so you should take a look at it if you're interested. Kart races are always fun, especially if you've got kids or friends to play with. They're always great games for family and parties. We have some DLC next. Jurassic World Evolution Expansion Collection is on an 80% discount for the price of £6.59, and it's the cheapest I've ever seen it, which is a really good deal. This collection includes all 3 story expansions, including the third one, where you get to return to the original Jurassic Park, and it allows you to rebuild and reopen the original park from the movie, featuring Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sadler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm. This doesn't include the cosmetic packs, but to me that doesn't matter too much. This includes all of the extra gameplay and all of the extra levels and modes, which is what I care about. So if you want to buy this game, the cheapest way to get the complete experience is to buy the game and then buy this bundle along with it. That way you get all of the levels and all of the expansion and story, which is great. So if you own this game and you haven't picked up the expansion, this is your chance to pick it up right now. If you haven't picked up the game yet, then you could pick this up now if you're planning on getting the game at some point, but that's up to you. Either way, it's a great deal. If you're interested, why not take a look? Up next is my star buy, Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Saga. It was released in 2022, so it's only 1 year old, but the games are older than that really, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £8.09, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this includes both the Wet Dreams Don't Dry and Wet Dreams Don't Dry Twice games, so you're getting 2 full games for the one price, which is really great. These games are both point-and-click adventures, and in the first game you get to follow Larry from the 80s to modern day on a crazy adventure solving puzzles and dating women. It features non-linear gameplay, over 30 areas and characters, dating sim mechanics, hand-drawn graphics, and true blue jokes as well. So if you're a fan of the old series, you'll really enjoy it. And in the sequel, after leaving New Lost Wages and ending up stranded in Cancun, all you want to do is marry your true love, Faith. But you've been separated, and Larry must search the Kaluas archipelago to find her again, and finally get married. This is a really odd one, because point-and-click adventures aren't for everyone, sometimes the puzzles can be a bit obtuse, and that puts people off, as you can get frustrated and stuck in parts of the game. And this series, which features lewd jokes and is famous for them, won't be for everyone either. So if you're a fan of dirty jokes, and you like point-and-click adventures, you'll probably have a lot of fun with these. But if you're an easily offended snowflake, you'll probably want to look at a different game instead. Either way, if you like the sound of it, take a look at this game. They're from a legendary series, and that means something. A lot of game series don't make it this far, so they're probably well worth playing. Like I said, it's my star buy. If you like the sound of it, definitely take a look at them. And if you haven't played a point-and-click adventure before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting with this, as you're getting 2 full games, so if you don't like them, you're stuck with 2 of them. So you're probably better off starting with another franchise, because you can pick up 1 for cheaper than this, and then at least if you don't like it, you haven't spent so much money. But these are pretty legendary, so if you like the sound of them, why not take a look? And the final game I have for you is Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin. It was released in 2017, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.09, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. This game has no move controller support, which is a shame, but it's pretty short and it's more designed as a sort of introduction to VR, and a bit of a fan project for the people that love this series. In this VR adventure that continues on from the original 2005 game, you get to follow the psychic secret agents, saving the world once again. So if you have a PSVR headset and you're a fan of this series, you'll really enjoy this. But I think if you're not a fan of this series, you probably won't get the most out of it, and it's a pretty short game. So hey, you can pick it up anyway, but just keep your expectations low. It's not a full-blown game really. And that's all the games I have for the May Savings PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick bad games or did I pick good games? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it, or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your complaints down in the comments, and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you guys found some good games to play, and more importantly, I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you in the next sale. Hwyl fawr.